Huber,
Yo.
welcome to our, as you can see, we've been immersed 20,000 leagues below the sea for this very special Avatar 2 trailer reaction. Huber,
Yes.
we've both seen it now. Before we start discussing it real briefly, tell me the circumstances you saw it under, because this is a very exciting moment in time.
Yes. So it was IMAX.
Beautiful.
But it was not 3D.
That's okay. So you're covering the base of IMAX, though, which I like.
IMAX, yeah, but as much as I love IMAX, I think 3D is the essential element of Avatar.
Yeah.
Seeing the depth, because it's. I don't want to get into it all, but
love
you
this,
are so well versed in 3D, Don.
I love what
it's
you're
like, but for them, it's like there were so many movies that tried to capitalize on Avatar's 3D.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it properly.
Yeah.
That's why there is this like kind of collective sense of like, oh, 3D sucks. And it's like, that's because fucking James Cameron didn't do it.
Yeah, in many cases, for sure.
Yeah.
I saw it 2 times in the theater. I got really special. Now, I couldn't see Doctor Strange with the crowds yet, but I got special escort. I had a buddy, a connection at a theater. Thank you, by the way, to the entire staff of the unnamed theater who military escort style brought me in like an A-list celebrity, okay, into the theater so I could see first in 2D and then brought me to another theater to watch it in 3D, but I didn't get to see IMAX. But there is a big difference, Huber. You're absolutely right.
Huge.
Just that depth, and that's one of the things that's gotten me excited about this trailer. Actually, I feel like maybe it will bring back a little bit of interest back to 3D, which even a few months ago I wouldn't have said would have been possible. I thought it was dead as a doornail.
Totally, absolutely.
They've got the theaters built out with this stuff. They need to use them. We need Cameron's magical touch to remind people what's magic about the technology.
Absolutely. Don, I love this trailer.
Yes, I do
And
too.
there's one thing you can't fake,
Yeah.
and that's, well, I guess you can. I don't fake my emotions. But
Yeah.
I knew I loved it, Don, because I got chills.
Immediately. How
I
quick were the
got
chills? Within the
chills.
first 2 shots, yes?
And the ending when he's
Okay.
like, this family is our fortress.
Yes.
Like, this trailer was fucking perfect in
was.
a sense.
It
because
was.
it was just a teaser, and everyone is so skeptical and ready to hate.
Yeah.
Their world is ready to hate on Avatar.
Yeah.
It's been so long. Like, the expectations are the highest, like, endgame levels because it's been so long. It's the highest grossing movie of all time. So there are just, whether you like it or not, there's just expectations.
Yep.
It is a thing. And I thought this trailer was so perfect because legit, there's like one sentence from Jake at the end.
Yeah.
And it's all just mood.
Yep.
And it's this melancholic, heavy ass mood, dude. Like, this 1 minute teaser, like, I'm getting chills right now.
Yeah.
Just thinking about how high stakes it is, especially after rewatching 1.
Yeah.
Like, things matter.
Yeah.
Events matter. It's not just like what's going to happen in the next one. People make fun that there's like 5 of these planned.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, sure, you can be skeptical about that, but like, this is not the MCU. Like,
Right.
consequences are real.
Yeah.
The stakes are high.
Yeah. I agree with you completely. I think it was a really effective trailer. I loved what they did. The first couple of shots, skipping across those floating roots in the sky and then just the close-up of her face in the jungle, immediately bringing you back internally. There was a way just with those shots and the music where internally everyone, I know I was immediately triggered to that feeling of what we saw when we were all mystified by Pandora and excited by it, and also that escape it represented from like our world reality and how much we need that way more even now, like to the extreme, that it's a great timing. In many ways, it was so funny. I was like, wow, this took so long to get to this point, but in many ways, it's just perfect because it's like it has an opportunity now to be almost, probably not on the scale of success as the first one, but impactful. It could really have a much larger impact than if it was just a big sequel that came out like 2 summers later.
Absolutely, dude.
I think that
like going back, it does have that. It's just epic.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's this connection now that people have to this part of them too that I think is, at least that's how I kind of felt, of like,
Absolutely.
it's like you're like being brought to yourself back to when you experienced Avatar, because it was this pivotal moment in life for whatever, for many people.
I feel like this movie is going to be so sad, dude. That is what this teaser told me.
Yeah.
Is that like tragedy is going to come.
Yeah.
And it is not gonna feel good.
Yeah.
Like, I am scared, Don. I do want to get your opinion on the visuals.
Yeah.
Because this is obviously a huge talking point. The tech is such a huge thing with Avatar.
Yeah.
I will say, Avatar is not immune to criticism.
Yeah.
For me, of
absolutely.
course. I'm no fanboy. I just love movies.
Right. And
the visuals didn't wow me like back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously seemed better.
Yeah.
The faces were better.
Yeah.
But it was still like, wow, 13 years? I didn't feel that leap.
Yeah.
Granted, no 3D.
Right.
The 3D leap is the real test. You know, that underwater 3D tech, which was the main selling point of this entire movie.
Yeah.
And a lot of the reason why it's taking so long.
Yeah.
But from a 2D perspective, just the visuals looked great. They look great. Top tier. They looked the best possible.
Exactly.
But they didn't like hit that.
There wasn't a single shot where you're like, whoa, what was that? Or something. Right. 100%. I feel like I had the same feeling as you. It was just all very clean, very good, like as professional could be. But there was no shot that you went like, oh, holy smokes, like that. I've never seen anything even close. Yeah, like what was that effect or what was going on? And we're hearing so much about this. You know, we've heard so much about this underwater tech that's filming underwater, how it's going to wow us. You kind of wanted a little bit of something like that to happen. Now, a little bit of that did happen for me, though, when I did see the 3D version. It was just the simple
when
shot of her underwater.
That,
that shot. Okay, she's looking up. You know how she's looking up, like with that magical. I didn't even notice in the 2D version because they're completely out. I had to watch it again right now. When you and I just watched it, I was like, okay, that's why I didn't. There's this big school of fish that she's like looking up at, you know. But in the 2D, it's just this blurry out of, you know, it's not. But in 3D, the layers you have, the beautiful thing, you're like, oh my God, that's pretty. Like there were several shots. The spinning shot where you don't quite know what's happening. He's like touching the surface of the water and the camera's spinning, and then you realize, oh, he's underwater touching the surface. Dude. That shot was just like, I mean, every shot, when you add that depth, like you're saying, you know, it's like the human eyeballs. There's something magical about having depth, but particularly those shots were like visually spectacular. And because of the fact,
the whale underwater was insane.
That looked nice
3D?
also. That looked nice also, but that, I mean, it looked nice, but because of the composition and because it was kind of like somewhat a flat image, I guess, just in terms of being up above the surface, it looked very cool, but everything looked better in 3D for sure. And that's one of my hopes for this that I didn't have before that I just want to highlight is like, this has a chance to, I think, re-inspire people to see movies a little bit. A lot of this massive crowd that has fallen off. If there's some way that, you know, some of these movies can become a little popular again and maybe one of these companies can get affordable 3D TVs in the home, who knows? Maybe we haven't seen the end of the technology because there have been some great films. But like you said, they're not all Cameron, they're not all, but they're not the majority. So anyway, it was nice. I thought it was a perfect trailer, just bringing us back into the world. Very slow, showing us this new part of the world. We're now seeing a lot of curiosity with like, okay, well, what
Jake
is this
old
military?
And like world-weary,
there's a gap of time, and also the military installation now looks big and serious, and like the human civil, you know. So you're like, how big is this gap of time? I mean, they may have noted. I don't know. I haven't been reading up on all the lore, so I know very little.
Now I'll watch.
Now's
because
the
this
time.
is a teaser, so this is always my MO with movies I'm hyped on. I'll do all the research before this teaser hits, okay? I'll watch the official trailer once. Media blackout. That is the last piece of info I want to see.
I don't like
hear.
researching. I'm the same way. I don't like researching and digging into all the details. I don't want to know a lot of what we saw. I like just kind of imagining. But I think it had the perfect amount of curiosity, and it made a big difference seeing in 3D. So
Dude.
I don't know.
I just think, again, Don, to reiterate, everything you said, I want to see it in 3D, but I just think after 13 years, this was the perfect way to go. And I know there's skeptics out there for sure. You know,
who knows how many
skeptics?
There's a lot of skepticism. I hope
I saw the main skepticism of like, oh, it doesn't look much better. Was the main criticism, which I
And that's the
especially if you don't
thing,
see it in
yeah.
3D, that is valid.
Which I think it's
100%.
very valid because it's kind of like, I mean, honestly, when I left that first theater, it was like I felt a little bit of that, like, oh, that was clean and nice, but like nothing that like, I'm sure there's a lot of it though. It's Cameron. This is going to be grand as hell, and he hasn't shown us even a glimpse of that yet. Like,
And there's two huge elements. One, a lot of this is on like social media videos people are watching, low res, whatever.
oh gosh, what a
But
difference!
there's the biggest difference to me is being in it.
Yeah.
Being in the movie is so different than seeing snapshots of it.
For sure.
I
yeah.
think of like Avatar 1 when Jake is going to like into the forest.
Yeah.
And he sees all those flowers.
Oh
and stuff.
yeah, everything.
Just like letting your guard down and letting yourself be transported into that moment,
right.
which is 10 out of 10 enhanced with IMAX 3D.
Yeah.
That is when the IMAX 3D gets its money's worth, is when you are getting in that zone.
Yeah.
And you don't even realize, and it just has you.
And that's what it is. Like you said, the first movie has many flaws, right? But that's what it was so successful with, was just that escape, that being in that theater and escaping from your reality and like being in that world. So satisfying. It was kind of funny though. I'm curious to see what the reaction is. I'm hoping there's going to be like a groundswell of support for this. But after the movie, it was pretty funny because there was after the trailer, there was one clap guy that started clapping, but it was like genuine. It wasn't like sarcastic or anything, but it was only one, and I was like, oh, okay, But it was funny because it was like, all right, we'll see how much of the world steps up to support this, but I think it'll end up being huge, so we'll see.
No question.
Yeah,
no question.
I'm pumped
because the state of movies, I feel like, are, as sad as it is to say, I feel like the big budget spectacles are the ones that'll get people in the theaters.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
As people watch more streaming, more at home, the big blockbusters in a big theater.
It's a sad thing. It's a sad reality. I mean, I'm a part of this for sure, no doubt. Like, I know, it's an irritating thing sometimes, but like, it's a fact. It's like most of the things I support in the theater are these big spectacles, just because when you're paying the price, you're like, okay, what am I seeing that I can't see at home? That's not a similar thing,
Exactly.
And so that's just the case for a lot of people, I think. But yeah, these are the ones we look forward to, the quality tent poles. So it's finally a reality.
We're in it. We are on the road to the way of water.
Yep.
We are at ground zero right now.
Yep, it feels good.
That is the countdown has begun.
Yeah.
The countdown is official. We are on the road.
Think of the number of delays. I mean, it was ridiculous. So to be here finally and seeing it as reality, that was one of the other things. Just felt really good walking out at the end and being like, knowing this is actually really happening right now was like almost a relief. It felt pretty good.
Thanks so much for talking
see
about
what
it,
happens,
Don.
everybody. Gonna be there soon.